Good morning and welcome to this breakout session on multimodal transportation, planes, trains, and roads, or if anyone is a fan of the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So I rewatched that the other day, it's great. Everyone likes to think their panel is the most important, but I do think that we are one of the most important panels at this session or at this conference because I think all of us can understand the importance of logistics. And in the case of Ukraine, how important that is in terms of exports, but also to be able to ship things in, out, economic development, and of course, helping the war effort. So, costs of war. There comes opportunities, and here we have an opportunity to modernize Ukraine's transportation and logistics sector with state-of-the-art infrastructure. And that's why you're all gathered here and why we have this great panel with us. Sea and land transport routes, which are the primary methods for exporting agricultural products, particularly grain, are under threat. And we need to modernize a strategy for its transportation and logistics infrastructure that is multimodal for Ukraine. The country needs to identify short and long-term alternatives to rail and port infrastructure, including routes to Poland, Romania, and the Danube. Developing and implementing a comprehensive logistics and transportation reconstruction plan is going to be crucial to Ukraine's recovery, but in multiple ways, not just for its infrastructure, but for also providing good jobs for millions of Ukrainians. Ukraine will be better positioned to export agriculture and manufacturing products once we have this modernized state-of-the-art infrastructure. So this panel will examine what can be accomplished in the short term versus the long term, including efforts currently underway in Ukraine and the damage done to transportation infrastructure. They will also talk about issues that maybe we don't always think about when it comes to building an infrastructure strategy. Standards, what standards are we going to use? And I'm not just talking about high quality ESG, but what sorts of gauges are we going to use on a railway network? So I will introduce our panelists. And again, we have a really great group of folks here. And I realized I didn't introduce myself. I was just so excited to jump into this. My name is Erin Murphy. I'm here with this CSIS, and I'm the senior fellow with the Asia program. Previously, I was with the economics program, so I sort of know what I'm talking about here. I am joined by Matt London, who's the Director of Government Affairs from Amstead Rail. Matt London is with Amstead Rail, which is a Chicago-based 100-year-old manufacturer of running gear for rail rolling stock. He focuses on government advocacy and business association engagement to advance Amstead Rail's business in Ukraine. From 1998 to 2003, he was a desk officer at the U.S. Department of Commerce for Russia and the independent states. He's a graduate of Bowdoin College and has an MA from Georgetown. I'm also joined by Olександр Вайнер, who's a co-owner of Agrosem LLC. He was born in Ukraine and relocated to Moldova after 1997. And as an economist, I'm very excited to say that he received his MS in economics in 2001. He is an entrepreneur, having co-founded and run multiple businesses, including in agriculture. In 2003, he took on the role of vice president at the UNESCO group of companies based in Ukraine. He was also the CFO of Green Hills Market in Moldova, the largest local chain of grocery stores. He also returned to Ukraine in 2007, where he co-founded the company that he works at today, which is a thriving agricultural enterprise, and now a well-known agricultural distribution company among the top 5 in Ukraine. Agrosem is the largest John Deere dealer in Ukraine as of 2022, and the largest distributor in the Ukraine of several companies that are probably known to you all, including Yara, Porte, Lindsay, and KWS. Alexander, I'm going to turn to you, and we have a presentation that will accompany your remarks.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you for introducing me, and I have a short presentation about our company, so what we do, who we are, and why we are here today. The car company is Agrosem. We started the company in 2007. There were just 3 of us, me, my partner, and our accountant. And now we are in top 5 agrarian distributors in Ukraine. Actually, we are number 4. And the year turnover is $300 about 300 million euro per year. Our key directions where we work, so we supply Ukrainian farmers with fertilizers, crop protection products, seeds, agriculture machinery, precision farming, because now agriculture is mostly about digital technology, then about mechanical stuff. And we are in grain trading as well. Our main brands, we represent a lot of well-known international company in Ukraine. We are a John Deere dealer. Everybody knows green tractors and combine, the best US-made agriculture equipment. And then another few brands, including Yara, Norway, fertilizers producers, Lindsay and Corteva. There are also American companies, FMC, and there are a lot of European companies in our portfolio as well. So our representative offices, we cover the whole countries. The whole country, we have representatives, salesmen in each region. With seeds, fertilizer, crop protection products, we cover the whole country, but with agriculture equipment, we concentrated mostly in western part of the Ukraine. And you're wondering probably why I'm here at transportation panel and not at agriculture panel, which took place before this one. So here's the answer. If you see the red circle close to Poland, the letters is pretty small there, you cannot read, but the name is MOST Logistic Terminal, and Logistic Terminal is the answer why I'm here at this transportation panel. So in 2018, trying to solve our own problem of fertilizers import to Ukraine, because we a big importer, and when you deal with a big quantity, trucks, it is not the answer, is not the decision. You cannot deal with thousands of trucks to deliver fertilizers to Ukraine. The natural way to deliver fertilizers to country is either by vessels or by rail, but rail is another issue. Matt already mentioned that we have different rail gauge with Europe, and this different system not allowed us to move goods directly from Ukraine to European country or backwards. So we were looking for some decision how to handle and how to solve this issue, and we found a piece of land at the border with Poland, just 4 miles from the border with Poland, from Ukrainian side, where at the first rail station we have Ukrainian rail track, rail gauge, and then we have European rail gauge. The track comes a bit inside the territory of Ukraine, like maybe 10 miles. So we bought that piece of land. It was a green field, and we put Ukrainian and European tracks to our territory, and we started with reloading of fertilizers. But then we found out that we are not the only one who face the same issue. So all companies who move goods in big quantities through the border, they face the same issue, and we started developing our terminal and offered this service to the market. And our terminal now, so we connect Ukraine and Europe. Our terminal now contains of grain terminal, containers terminal, warehouses, infrastructure. We have space for bulk goods as well. So the total territory is about 30 acres. I did some math to recalculate everything from hectares and kilometers to miles. As Erin mentioned, I have economic background, so I'm good in math. We have 2.2 miles of tracks on our territory, including European gauge and Ukrainian gauge, and we can put about 100 wagons at the same time at our terminal, including European wagons and Ukrainian wagons. And our grain terminal we have small storage capacity because it's mostly about transshipment and not about storing grain. So we should work fast with unloading and loading European wagons. So we have 12.5 thousand tons of storage grain capacity. And from our terminal, we have a great connection to trans-European system, rail system. We can go whatever we need, each European port, any clients, whole Europe. Either we need to go to south, to Italy, Croatia, or we have to go to north to Polish ports, or Germany, or even further to the Netherlands or Belgium. And before the war, we increased our transshipping capacity organically. So every year we had some new clients, we started work with some new product, but then the war came February 24th, 2022 last year, and it changed our business approach. Unfortunately, we faced with this full-scale war, and everything had changed. So we implemented three key elements. It was grain trading, MOST Logistic Terminal, our terminal, and then we built new logistic chain, because everybody knows that all Ukrainian ports were blocked since the beginning of the war. And Ukrainian ports was the natural way for export, not only for Ukrainian grain, but also for metal, for steel, and many different stuff. And also the natural way for import to Ukraine. If we talk about grain, because grain is the top priority now, before the war, you can see that from 94 to 96% of Ukrainian grain were exported via Black Sea ports, and only pretty small amount were exported by rail or by trucks. And the same situation even worse with vegetable oils. So there is no alternatives to Ukrainian Black Sea ports, but nevertheless, as we were connected to our clients, to farmers, and we supply about 3,000 Ukrainian agriculture producers with all the inputs from our portfolio, and we decided that we should step in and help our clients to export their grain, to keep them alive, to help them, to help the country, and to help our company to survive as well. And we started to utilize our previous experience in fertilizer transportation, in dealing with European rail companies, not to bring fertilizers or other products to Ukraine, but to send European grain by rail to European countries or European ports. And during the first marketing year, and trading companies, they have pretty weird marketing year from July to June. So first year, with the first marketing year, we exported 300,000 tons of Ukrainian grain, either to European ports and or to European final customers. And please keep in mind that we've never been involved in grain trading before the war, so that was our debut, and it was pretty hard, but I think we did pretty well. And our goal to increase this direction, and our goal is 1 million tons of Ukrainian grain exported to European countries or to further customers, further regions. So this is our geography. We delivered Ukrainian grain to Croatia, Italy, Austria, Germany, to Great Britain, to Poland, or mostly through Poland, and with our Polish partner, we deliver grain to the Netherlands and Belgium, mostly by rail, which is a new supply chain. So the natural way for grain, even if we think about the Netherlands, they were a big importer of Ukrainian grain, but never by rail, by vessels. So we made a new supply chain and deliver grain there by rail. And then we did few vessels, few from Danube River ports to Croatia by Danube River, and to Sicily, Italy, by sea, and also to the United Kingdom. And now we are delivering already rapeseeds to Germany by vessels from Polish ports. Okay, this is the terminal. So, as I said, we had no grain terminal at our MOST Logistic Terminal before the war, and in May we decided to start construction. We received all the permission pretty fast, and I want to thank Ukrainian authorities. They totally understood that this is the key point, and this is the only way to accelerate Ukrainian grain export. So they did their bureaucracy pretty fast, and last year in November the terminal was fully operated. The grain terminal is still under construction. We are adding more storage capacity there, but since last November we are fully operated. We loaded European trains with Ukrainian grain. And as I said, like, western borders became a strategic direction due to blockage of the Ukrainian Black Sea ports, and we received a lot of different requests to reload different type of goods. There are a few of them, like steel, kaolin, wire, oil, of course fertilizers. We did sugar, grain, then it was even household appliances. I remember at the very beginning of the war, it was probably first or second week, forwarding company which we deal with before the war, they just called us and asked, do you have some space for refrigerators? We said, refrigerators? What? We don't have equipment to unload it. But then, okay, just send it there. We will handle it. And the same situation was ferronickel. We've never heard what is that, how they packed, what to do with that. But we tried to help and to handle it. And then it was containers and humanitarian aid, a lot of different stuff. Then, of course, it was everything new, not only to us, but for the whole industry. And from the very beginning, we tried to send Ukrainian grain abroad, no matter the cost. But you cannot deal with this kind of approach, so you have go back to economy, to calculate it, to make it more efficient. And trying to make it more efficient, we start working with some solutions. So what we can bring back from European ports, so what goods we can bring back. And of course, if we are talking about hoppers, this is the special wagons for grain transportation. We have nothing to put back. But then we start dealing with wagons, the same like Matt have here, like open top. It was pretty weird, even from us, like how to transport grain in open top wagons. So how to prevent them from natural damage like rain or snow. And we start looking around and see, okay, so when you deliver grain by trucks, you have some cover there, tent, and you have no issue with quality, you have no issue with rain. So let's do bigger tent and cover that wagons. And it's not only because we are trying to find the way what to bring back. And of course, as I said, there is no way to put something to hoppers, but there are a lot of different goods that you can put to open-top wagons on their way back. But also there are a huge lack of hoppers, especially from European side. They work absolutely different. So they have smaller distance, they have smaller farmers, and they deliver grain mostly by trucks, not by rail. So there was a huge, and there is still a huge lack of hoppers from European side. So that also was a decision how to deliver grain. And because we were involved in fertilizers import, so we sent that open-top wagons with Ukrainian grain to Polish ports, and then we brought fertilizers, packed fertilizers in bay bags on their way back. Now we are trying to find what we can bring back from port of Rotterdam, which is far from Ukraine, but we also deliver grain there by open-top wagons. And Rotterdam is a huge hub, so there are a lot of different goods that could be delivered to Ukraine. And we have already wagons there, so we are open to any kind of ideas. And to be secure with possibility of grain delivery and to have possibility to secure our permanent flow of wagons, we even rented wagons from European side and from Ukrainian side. So we are now pretty deep in logistic. And this is about logistic during the war, but we also should think about after-war logistic and we have to start preparing for that now, but not only after the war. And the key point of after-war logistic is reconstruction and renovation of Ukraine. And we see a lot of panelists during these 2 days, and everybody was sharing their thoughts and ideas about renovation. And of course, not about rebuilding, but renovation. This is the right word. Because if we have a lot of damage in Ukraine, and infrastructure is the big part of that damage, but we don't have to rebuild what we had before the war, but we have to think few steps ahead and build something new which will be useful in the next coming decades. And the next key point is integration into the European Union. And it's not only about being a part or entering the European Union. We all see that this is our new market. So we cannot go to Russia or to the East anymore. This is our enemy, and all our future is with Europe. So that will establish new routes for many different goods. And going back to reconstruction, it means a lot of technology, a lot of equipment, a lot of building materials that should be produced in Ukraine or should be imported to Ukraine. And this is also will be the big part of the future logistics. And of course, it will be a boost in production of different products for domestic market in Ukraine and also for exporting for foreign markets. And cross-border cooperation will be a big part of after-war integration and renovation of Ukraine. I think there is a good opportunity for not only for the US companies, but mostly for European companies to cooperate with Ukraine, not to resist, because anyway, our Ukrainian future is with Europe, and this is the huge opportunity for European companies, for European private sector to cooperate to Ukraine, to use Ukrainian human capital, to use Ukrainian resources, to use knowledge that we have in Ukraine to rebuild Ukraine and to receive benefits from that. And a few words about financing. It's also a part of not only of Ukraine after the war, but even during the war. So we are one of example of financing during the war. So we received loan from EBRD, European Bank of Reconstruction and Development, 9.6 million euro for extending our terminal. And together with the loan, we received 1.5 million euro from the US government. I want to thank you, say thank you to the US government and to the US taxpayers, because it's your money. That money will be invested during this and next year to extend our terminal. So we will extend our storage capacity up to 22,000 tons, and it will help us to reload 5,100 tons of grain per year. Then we will invest in expansion of rail infrastructure, which we should extend rail tracks, which we have at our territory, at our terminal. And container terminal extending is also the part of this investment program, because containerization is also the future of Ukrainian logistics. Now we have pretty little percentage, about 5 or 6%, compared to 40% or 45% with other countries, European countries and the US as well. We bought 2 locomotives, shunting locomotives, to be absolutely independent from Ukrzaliznytsia with shunting things, because it's also the big part of the efficiency. And here's the general plan how the terminal should looks like after the project will be completed. So we have warehouses, we have grain terminal, we have territory for containers or for bulk cargo, and of course we have pretty long rail tracks there. And thank you, together to the victory and reconstruction of the country.
Thank you so much, Alexander.